Okay, so this is my Classic Army M4. It's completely stock except for originally the bearing on the spur gear had blown out, causing the spur and bevel gear to completely strip. So I did replace it with SHS 8mm bushings on the spur gear, and then I replaced the gears with stock Classic Army gears that I found in my stockpile. Other than that, it's wired to Dean's, and then I do have a different front end setup here, including a different inner barrel, but that has nothing to do with the gearbox, which I'm going to show you. Right now I'm running it on a really puffed up, really used Nanotech 1400 milliamp hour 15 to 25C discharge 11.1 LiPo. It is wired to Dean's also. Trigger response isn't that good because this motor is not that high torque, but the speed is actually great, which is what I'm going to show you. It's shimmed decently. The bevel gear I had in here wasn't in the best shape, so no damage is being done to the pinion or bevel gear, no further damage at least, so I don't really care about the way it sounds. And it's not that bad either. I'd give that mid to high 20s, maybe like 25 RPS, which is great. Great. It sounds pretty mean. The pickup speed is pretty low. That's due to the really low power motor, which is fine for me. This is one of my backup guns anyway. I don't. Plus, it doesn't drain batteries as fast as an SHS high torque motor or a Lonex. The gears are surprisingly fast. I have another Classic Army here. I'm going to show you guys. This shimming is horrendous. I'm just going to put that out there. But that's because I just didn't shim it that well. It is also stock Classic Army, all but an Element high-speed motor. 1 second, let me take the stock off. Okay. So this one, pretty stock, stock gears, piston, just an Element max speed motor. I do have an Infected Armory MOSFET in here. Yes, I know Infected Armory sucks. Blah blah blah. I just had that. I've had that in there for a while, and it's holding up fine. I'm not running any 14.8 volt LiPos in here, and it's working just fine right now. So this is actually one of the older MOSFETs that haven't blown up on me. I haven't owned any HS Army MOSFETs, but I have owned some legit dude ones, and those haven't held up as well, at least in my experience. Maybe I just didn't wire it right. This one's holding up fine though. It's an active braking one. This is stock Classic Army with Element max speed motor. I already said that. Yes, I know shimming sucks. That's pretty damn fast. If I had to guess, I'd say low 30s maybe. Maybe a little higher. I don't want to overestimate it. But yeah, this is on the same shit, a little battery. I'm going to actually plug in my, let's see, this is a 35 to 70C burst LiPo. Let's see how this one performs. It shouldn't be too much of a difference. Shit, did you guys see that? Shorts out there. Yeah, this one still needs a lot of work before it's done. The shimming sounds horrendous, and I need to replace this MOSFET in here. I don't really like it that well, even though it is holding up fine. And I also have the resettable fuse, so the MOSFET's not hot at all, but the fuse is. Other than that, the only other upgrades are a Sistema 604mm barrel, which is fine, I guess. It's extremely accurate, but that's because it has a really good bore. Just the Classic Army barrels are excellent, by the way. That gun, well, before I had this front end setup, I used to have that in there. But my point is, Classic Army guns, stock like this one, perform extremely well, especially on a LiPo. I actually ran this one on an 11.1 on where is it? This battery for about 2 years before that bearing blew out, and I've been running it like this for about a few weeks now with the new bushing. And basically what I'm saying is they perform really well. They look really, I don't know, I like the look of them, especially this one, this short one. They look really nice. They're solid, all steel all metal parts. I don't see why they aren't as popular as a lot of other companies. Maybe it's because some of their parts are picky, such as the pistons, the gears. But I don't see why you need to replace them. I just buy stock parts anyway. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna upgrade a gun like I do sometimes to extremely high speeds and FPS and power, Classic Army wouldn't be the way to go. But for a gun that you want to be reliable or backup, I don't see why people don't buy Classic Army all the time. Their pistons are extremely sturdy. This one is about half a piston. It's still running in there for a few years now. The gears aren't the best. The spur gear tends to fail the first. The bearings work fine until once they blow, the spur usually dies and the bevel usually dies, like mine did. But I believe the only actual proprietary parts are the sector and the piston, and I believe if you switch both of those out, you shouldn't have a problem. I still have yet to experiment with that, but I did notice that the sector actually is a little bit taller, and the piston teeth are a little bit more regressed. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I've seen. That's just what I've tested. Now, these are the two Classic Armies I own, and both of them are my favorites. This one still needs a lot of work. I'm actually planning on replacing all the bearings because I do not, especially on high speed with this motor, I do not want the bearings blowing out. I'll probably stick some SHS 7 mils in there. I have a few sets of those, and shim that. But yeah, the shells are nice too, very sturdy. Everything about them I love. I don't see why they aren't as popular to beginners as KWA is, because they suck. I don't see why. Well, I can see why a lot of airsoft techs don't like them, because they aren't as part friendly as other guns. But hey, they are great guns, and they are pretty part friendly. Like I said, I have a new motor in here, and their pistons are great, so I don't see why you need to complain. But I'm just rambling at this point, so thanks for watching.